Following the recent deal that sends Jock Peterson to the Texas Rangers, the New York Mets now must shift their focus and bring back Jesse Winker this offseason at all costs. Let's get into it. All right, Mets fans, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the True Mets Talk podcast. It's your boy CP, and our Mets offseason discussions are rolling on in this offseason as the Mets are looking to add more and more offensive weapons. We've been talking about Pete Alonso, we've been talking about Alex Bregman, and now it's time to bring back a familiar face and talk about Jesse Winker. Before we get into this video fully and talk about Jesse Winker's market and some of the 2024 metrics of why it makes so much sense to bring him back, please do spam and smash those thumbs up buttons on this video if you enjoy the content. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new, and make sure to comment your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Now, recently, Jock Peterson just signed a 2-year deal that sends him to the Texas Rangers for $37 million. He does have an opt-out after the first year in 2025, where if he performs like he did in Arizona, he could go ahead and hit the open market again. That was the premier bat, lefty option that I wanted outside of Juan Soto to add to this Mets lineup, in addition to bringing in either re-signing Pete Alonso or a guy like Alex Bregman. And with the Mets' continued search for a lefty DH option, possibly to pair with Starling Marte in 2025, Jock Peterson is off the board, clearly to the Texas Rangers. And assuming the Mets are going to be out on more costly options following a Juan Soto signing, like an Anthony Santander, who is set to make premier money with whichever team he signs with here this offseason, and also a Jurickson Profar, who is coming off of an awesome 2024 campaign where he was an all-star, hitting .280 with 20-plus home runs for the San Diego Padres. He probably wants a 3-year deal that would likely take the Mets out of his market. Jesse Winker is the guy to get, but it's important to also look at Jesse Winker's market and which teams around the league will be competing with the Mets for Jesse Winker's services. What is the Houston Astros plan right now when things sort of seem to be in flux? But we also have heard that they're not willing to deal a guy like Framber Valdez. So could a veteran bat like Jesse Winker help them out? Or or does a team like the Cincinnati Reds make a lot more sense? A team that has already seen Jesse Winker in some great days of his career over there in Cincinnati. They need a lefty veteran bat to platoon over there. They are a fringe wild card team, but could also make a run at that division. It's anyone's ball game in the NL Central. Could the Cincinnati Reds make a serious bid for Jesse Winker? I think that a lot of Mets fans, especially in the poll that I ran yesterday talking about Jurickson Profar and the preference of him over Jesse Winker or vice versa, it seems like a lot of Mets fans are in on Jesse Winker this offseason to bring him back. Now, let's take a look at the numbers of the 2024 campaign that Jesse Winker had. He enjoyed a lot of success in a Nationals uniform before he got brought over to Queens at the trade deadline around July 28th, somewhere in that time frame. As a Washington National, he hit .257 with 11 home runs, posting a .793 OPS, and the Mets went and saw that and said, we need an offensive addition. JD Martinez is great, but at that time, he wasn't really cutting it, and they needed that lefty bat to go along and play the matchups against right-handed pitching. They brought him on board. He got off to a quick start, but slowly faded in September when he posted something of a 3 for 43 stretch, which was absolutely awful. And then he started to catch fire in the playoffs, as you see here with the numbers on the left-handed side of your screen. As a Met in 2024 in the second half, he hit .243 with 3 home runs. The power went down for Jesse Winker in comparison to the 11 home runs he hit as a National. But again, he provided the Mets another lefty bat option, something that Carlos Mendoza did not really have at his full disposal for most of the 2024 season. And going into the postseason in the improbable run to the league championship series against the Dodgers, Jesse Winker posted a .267 batting average average with a 476 on base percentage and over a 970 OPS. He absolutely caught fire. Outside of the overall numbers in 2024 and what he could provide the Mets lineup in 2025 and beyond. And you have to love what you see when you go onto his baseball reference page and look at the splits, especially in the clutch category and the clutch situations that were presented to him in 2024, as well as the runners in scoring position metrics across the board. In 2024, runners in scoring position, Jesse Winker had 132 plate appearances. His eye at the plate and the approach that he has is absolutely phenomenal. He knows when to take his walks, which contributes to a great on-base percentage for Jesse Winker, as we see here in the numbers on the left-hand side of your screen. But that was so very evident in that opening game against the Phillies in the NLDS against Zach Wheeler in Philadelphia. He was mowing down the entire Mets lineup, but Jesse Winker was patient. He wasn't chasing that upstairs fastball, and he wasn't swinging and missing under it like the rest of the Mets lineup was. And that's where Jesse Winker just seems as cool as a cucumber in any situation that you put him in. And runners in scoring position, the success took care of itself. He hit 327 with runners on, over a 440 on base percentage, which is awesome. And he produced 5 home runs across a 962 OPS. But also, runners in scoring position is one thing. What can you do for me in clutch situations, tie ball games, late and close, as you see on the screen here? Jesse Winker also excels in that category, as well as 2 outs with runners in scoring position. I encourage you, Mets fans, go look at his baseball reference page and take a look at it for yourself. You will enjoy what you see beyond just the surface level numbers of the production as a National and a Met during the regular season. 73 plate appearances in the late and close category, 11 RBIs, and a 300 batting average right there. You want Jesse Winker at the plate in late ball games when you need a big hit and the game is on the line. That is plain and simple. And again, it's such a no-brainer to bring him back, especially if the Mets are unable to find a trade partner for Starling Marte this offseason. If they are going to run it back with a platoon, last year we saw Jesse Winker, JD Martinez. Obviously, Juan Soto comes into the fold here. You have Jose Siri going to be having meaningful games and contributions in the outfield. Starling Marte, where do you put him? Maybe the plan is for him to platoon at DH with another lefty bat like Jesse Winker as the 2025 Mets DH, which is okay. But again, you need to have those options available for Carlos Mendoza, especially from the left-handed side of the plate. And that's something that the Mets are prioritizing with the addition of Juan Soto. You'll have Jeff McNeil, presumably. You'll have Brandon Nimmo. Lindor is the switch hitter, is going to bat more times, more often than not, from the left-handed side of the plate than the right-handed side of the plate, given who's on the mound on any given day. Adding one more lefty bat will never hurt. So beyond just these numbers that we see on the screen, he bought into everything that was happening in Queens last year when he came over. He provides that mentality, that bulldog mentality that you need to have in a Mets uniform, and especially if you're playing baseball in New York in general in this market. I know he's a fan favorite. Again, we don't know what the contract situation is going to look like. We don't know if it could resemble a Jock Peterson type deal, a multi-year deal, 2 years with an opt-out, or maybe just a straight 1-year deal. One thing is for certain, though, that Jesse Winker has earned himself a little bit of a payday in terms of what he posted for the New York Mets in the second half, but especially in that playoff run where he was absolutely phenomenal and the Mets could depend on him. It could be a 1-year deal, but it's not going to come for cheap at all. That is a given. Please hit those thumbs up buttons, Mets fans. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed these discussions, and make sure to go ahead and comment your thoughts and opinions down below. It's your boy CP, another True Mets Talk podcast in the books. Until next time, peace.
Thank you for watching the True Mets Talk podcast. Make sure you're tapping on that notifications button and checking out all the latest content on the channel. Thank you.